Move, Think, Smile followers. It's Adam Von Inns coming at you today with one of our amazing clients. Now, this is the phenomenal Angela Turnow, and she has done some pretty cool stuff. Now, what's really interesting is Angela is a licensed physical therapist, and traditionally she has been working in a clinical setting. But a couple years ago, she decided to kind of start doing her own thing. She's had some amazing results. I'm going to let her fill in the details of what's going on there because it's really, really cool. So Angela, it's great to have you here. Kind of let everybody know, what's your offer? Who are you really helping right now?
So right now my offer is I help active moms stop peeing their pants when they're running,
Stop peeing
basically.
their pants when they're running.
That's
Stop peeing
that's
when
what
you
it
run.
is. Yeah.
Right. And you've got a really cool, thing out there called the Bladder Leak Solution.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give it a quick spoiler alert because I know there's a lot of PTs watching us right now, people in the functional space, right?
Mhm.
And what just like how many clients have you enrolled?
So I've enrolled 5 clients. Uh 6 if you count before, like it was like a low ticket considering
All right,
how it is now. But so 5 with you guys, yeah.
cool. So expand on that a little bit. You said six if you include the low ticket. S- So how much?
Yeah,
So what was that?
so she enrolled at 1K
Okay.
and so I realize now at the time that seemed like I was like my stomach dropped when I said that number to her, um, but then I realize now that was such a steal for what I offered her. But I created my program working with her, so it, it I just love helping moms, so it was powerful for me too to help her
Yeah. But now, because there was like,
now.
well, if 1K was your low ticket thing, because people are like 1K is low ticket,
Mhm.
where are you now with your pricing?
5K.
You're at 5K, you enrolled 5 clients.
Mhm.
And what are you and your husband now getting to do?
We are getting to just spend time with our family. Like, I it was just Easter weekend, and I was able to disconnect from the business. I didn't have to think about, I have to post, and I have to email, and I have to do all these things that would be lingering in the background. I just was able to watch my daughter open up her gifts and play with her baby dolls and just not worry about the fact that I have all of these things floating around having to manage all of it.
And we're going to talk about that. But aren't you guys, I heard through the grapevine that you're shopping for a new house?
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah, my son, he wanted us to put on he's 4. He wanted us to put on HGTV because he didn't say that, but he wanted to watch the show because he knows that we're talking to contractors, and so he's like, "We gotta find our house."
Which means you're building your house. You're
Mhm,
not buying somebody else's.
mhm.
That's
On a
pretty
lake.
cool.
Mhm,
On a lake.
mhm.
Awesome. All right. So, Angela, so let's talk about the burnout, right? This is something that we see a lot that happens to, well, a lot of healthcare professionals, especially when they're regulated and licensed and they're working in a clinical setting or they're working for a practice or they're working for a hospital. So, what was it like as a PT that kind of led you into wanting to start doing your own thing?
Yeah, in the clinic, I have to see 8 to 10 people a day, back to back to back. There's really no space for decompressing, and, uh, so then when I'm seeing, like, somebody for their back and then somebody for their knee or, like, pelvic floor issues, because I also see that in the clinic, they're very emotionally there's so much emotion tied to that, so it's like helping them, but then without having that decompress time and then just going into the next person. Like, all of that emotional weight was just so draining, and then going into then mom mode of, like, well, my husband picks up the kids, but then immediately going into mom mode of, like, just no time to decompress, no time for yourself. It was just I didn't want that for my life
So, if
to
you're doing
just
10 clients a day, are you working 10-hour shifts,
no, 8-hour days.
8-hour days, but you're cramming 10 people in there?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so then a couple years ago, you decided to start doing your own thing. So, what kind of led to
Yes.
that?
So my daughter, so I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and when I had my 4-year-old son, It was not the birth that I wanted. It was very traumatic from what I perceive as being traumatic, which everybody has their own um, realization of that or perception of that. But then I did a lot of research. I did a lot of coursework with somebody called Sarah Duvall, if you've heard of her. So I did some coursework with her, and I prepped myself. I had already done some pelvic floor courses as a physical therapist, and then I did her course, and I learned so much that I wanted to share that with other women. And so I used it on myself, prepping for the birth of my daughter, and it went beautifully. And then when I was on maternity leave with Elena, I thought, I think that other moms need this. And so I created a labor prep course using all the strategies that I did. Then I did a postpartum course using all the things I did because it was all very relevant to me. And then I had a lot of friends that were either pregnant or early postpartum, and they were always asking me questions like, how do I deal with this ache and pain while they're pregnant, or prepping for labor or postpartum, how to get back running. And so I just, because those were the kinds of questions I was getting, I was like, I'm just going to create things for my friends, but also I want to help other women too. And so then I created an Instagram and a website. WordPress is
Oh, wow.
not
Congratulations.
not not somewhere I want to spend my time. But I did for a year. I created a WordPress website, which was super clunky, and so many YouTube tutorials trying to figure out like one button, like how to get one button to function. Um, anyway, so I created these courses, and then, trying to sell the course, it was just, I had a baby, so like, a 6-month old and a 1.5-year old, and just trying to juggle all of that. And then going back to the clinic, and I was working 5 days at the time.
You're working 5 days a week at the time. You've
Yeah.
got an idea to get out there and help women where there's just like big disconnect with the pre-labor,
Yeah.
the postpartum stuff. And so
Yeah.
you go into building, would you call these like DIY courses, do it yourself? Like somebody comes
Yeah.
in, buys it, goes through the
Mhm.
things, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. So then I gave it a lot to my friends for free to try to, because that's what I heard you do. Like, you try to get reviews. And so I gave it away for free, but then I feel like it wasn't valued because then, it didn't work because they didn't pay for it, kind of thing. I don't feel like they valued it as much as they could have. And then just having my Instagram, and then I wasn't huge into Facebook, I guess, but more the Instagram, and then trying to get the sacred like 10,000 followers. At the time, it was this,
Okay. Stop. Where does the sacred 10,000 followers come from?
because
Like who?
then you could get well, in my mind, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I needed to make it. Um, so because then you would get the swipe up. At the time, there was the swipe up, and now you don't need 10,000 followers to get on your stories to get the link button where you can click.
Okay.
But there was this swipe up feature, which I don't think is a thing anymore. So it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't matter anyways. I was putting so much emphasis on things that just did not matter.
Like what? So you are obviously trying to build an audience. This is something that we are building that following, right? This is
Yeah.
something
So
that we hear a lot. And while, yes, it's a strategy that can work very effectively, the reality is the health and wellness industry is, in my opinion, is not like any other industry out there. Would you agree with that?
yeah, because people would ask me for exercises, or people, like, I'd had people either comment or like write me send me a message like, it'd be great if you could put some videos out there. And like, well, this is not a free, like, first of all, I can't help you that way because that's not what you're gonna not help yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Right.
And I don't want to do that because that's like so much time, and you're not gonna buy anything from me. Like, so I just politely responded back to people that way, and I was like, no, I won't be doing that. But I still put out like little tips and tricks, and I feel like it wasn't, I would get followers, but that didn't mean people bought.
Right. So this is the interesting thing. A lot of times the strategy will attract the freebie seekers, right? The
Yeah.
information, people who just want to collect more information, and they don't do anything with it. It
Mm-hmm.
basically gets just moldy on the hard drive because it just sits there. And it's like free, free, free. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. And then they don't do anything, or they hurt themselves, like you were talking about. So in this quest to build 10,000 followers, what were you doing to do that? Were you just posting every day, or like how were you trying
I
to build your
was,
base?
yeah, well, I feel like I was always in the back of my mind, always thinking of somehow that I could do like a new reel or or a post or go to Canva and make this like beautiful, you know, template of a post that would just be, you know, it would stop the scroll. And um and so I would always be thinking of things like that. And then freebies. So I created all these different freebies, and I felt like if this one didn't land, that then it wasn't good enough. So then I needed to create another one and another one and another one, and all these different like free downloads that people could just, they would want to opt in to get on my email list. And then I would send out emails, and it was just exhausting having to manage all of the different ways that people could either contact me or supply like the emails and the Instagram. And I did have a Facebook group, but wasn't like super active in there. And then what I was told is like join all these groups and then comment in all the groups. And so then I'd be in all these groups and I'd have to like, I didn't have to do any of this. And that's the thing. Like I didn't have to do any of it, but your face just looks confused. And it is. It's so confusing to try to manage all of that.
No, I get it. Like I've been there, right? So what were some of the freebies that you were giving away? PDFs, videos,
PDFs, and then there was like a free video course that I did.
a free video course. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think it was like the five, maybe it was like, what is your pelvic floor? Or like, I don't even know what it was. I don't even, I just want to block that out. I don't even,
Well, we can after today. We never have to look back at this again. But it's I think it's interesting to share with people, what is really effective in the realm of growing a health and wellness business, which is what this is really about. And
Mhm.
as Ellie and Rob and I like to talk about, it's like, any marketing strategy can work, but what's serving you in the business the best? So it sounds like you were burned out at the clinic and now you're
Yeah.
burning out trying to build this business.
Yeah. And I just was so disconnected with my family too, because I felt like I had to keep checking social media all the time to see, I posted a reel. Did it land? Did I get
Right.
engagement? So it's like this never ending loop of like, you have to keep doing more, 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 more. And it wasn't paying out. Like it wasn't reflecting on my ability to grow.
So you wake up in the morning, right? This is then a couple years ago. You're waking up in the morning. You're going to the clinic. Are you like checking social media when you first wake up?
Yeah.
Okay, got to get
Checking,
the kid,
posting.
got to get the kids ready, right?
Mhm.
Settle all that stuff into the family. You go to work, and are you like thinking about social media while you're at work?
Yeah. I'm like writing down ideas. I'm like just never ending. It was always like I was like writing down things in my notes on my phone, like, okay, I could post this, I could post this. Like,
And so then you come home, you check
mhm.
back in, you plug back into the media, right? Social media.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're like completely disconnected with the family.
Yeah. And then creating courses when the kids would go to bed. So now my husband and I are disconnected because I'm having to work on this for hours, like after the kids go to bed, creating videos for the courses that, spoiler alert, did not sell. And, and we could talk about that. But, it's just, I knew that I had this passion and I knew that women needed my help, but I just didn't know how to make that happen.
Got it. And how many courses did you create?
I created 3 courses.
3 courses. Okay.
Mhm.
And were they on different topics, or were they like different levels, like different packages and prices?
Sorry, there's 4 courses. So,
4
but they were
courses. Okay.
different. Yeah, there were. Because I had my basics, which was like introductory. Like,
Okay.
okay, so I had a basics, which is like a general overview.
Okay.
And then I had a pain-free pregnancy, a labor prep course, and then a like a 4th trimester course is what I called it.
Okay.
And then the idea was that I was going to then also create a like return to exercise, return to running to kind of bridge the gap, from like
Okay.
fourth trimester doesn't mean that you're ready to run yet.
Okay. So you did all these videos, you set up these courses. What were, do you remember the pricing on them?
Yeah.
What were they?
Okay. The basics was $17.
Did you sell any?
Yeah, I sold like 5.
Five. All right, cool. So we almost made $100.
Okay. And then the labor prep course was $40.
Ooh,
I
that's
might have increased it to 47. Got
oh
crazy.
wow. You're getting crazy
Mhm.
there.
Yeah. And the pain-free pregnancy was 57. And then the fourth trimester was 97.
All right. So we sold five of the $17. How
Mhm.
many of the 47s did you get to?
You know, maybe one.
One. All right. So we're encroaching on $130 now. Okay, cool. We're
Uh,
getting up there. All right. And then the $57 one.
I think I sold 3 or 4 of those.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're about $300. All right, cool. Total. And what about the last one, the $97 one?
I think it was 4 or 5.
Four or five. So we're talking about for all, and how long have you been working on this?
Well, it had been about it was like a year and a half.
So for a year and a half, you've been working on this and you walked away with about $900 in your pocket.
Yeah. And after everything else, like I wanted to do everything like I wanted to do everything the way that you should do it, right? So I got the LLC, got the business bank account, we got, the PO box, eh, we did all the things to set it up.
Right.
And so it was very exhausting. And it was just, I'm like, I can't keep doing this.
Right. And so, okay, so this is really interesting. And do you know what the success rate or the completion rate of the people that did purchase from you? So we had like what, maybe 10 total, 10 to 12. Do you know what the completion rate was on that?
Um, I I don't know if they completed the courses, I guess.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, because when we look at online self-paced courses to do it yourself, now I get the idea that, hey, if I build this thing, I can have recurring revenue, I can automate the entire thing. And the reality is, it ain't that easy, is it?
No, it was because like for the pain-free pregnancy, I had an option. I had an upsell, which is something I heard that you should do. So so I did an upsell option that it was the regular version was every video was emailed out to you like one day you got a video
So,
emailed out.
so you dripped it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then the upsell option was you got like 5 extra bonus videos and you got access to everything right away.
And what
Okay,
was that value?
so to add value.
Right.
Yep, to add value. And then I think I upselled that for like to get the upgraded version, it was like $20 extra or something.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
I know. And so but to build that all out so I was using MailChimp at the time. And so to build that all out, to build out the sequence of like this and that, like all of the emails get sent out. And then just how everything, it was like the worst Tetris game, trying to figure out how everything would flow together. And this URL has to go to this button and all these different things. And I wasn't using WordPress anymore when I was building the courses. I
Okay.
switched. So in 1 year, I built 2 websites.
All right. So when you're at two websites, you're posting every day,
Mhm.
right? And you're following the strategy of give some value, give some tips, give some stuff, use Canva, create all these ideas. You're working full time. You're burning out there. You're burning out full time trying to get this business off the ground. 18 months go by, a year and a half later, you got, about 900 something dollars in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, and because I was burning myself out, I would like to say that before kids, I was a person that like I never got sick. Like I never got sick. I was very healthy. And after Elena, like and I think it was the business really, and I didn't realize that. I was After probably a year of the business, I think my body had just said, "No, you can't keep doing this." And so like once a month, I would be dead to the world. I couldn't look at my phone. I was nauseous and sick, and I couldn't work and I couldn't talk. Like I couldn't, it was like, but it would happen once a month and for no reason, like for really no apparent reason. I was just done.
That's interesting. This is what we call the burnout exhaustion, right? And when we were going through this, and for everybody listening, if you don't know much about Move Think Smile, like our forte is in fatigue and burnout, especially when it comes to the entrepreneur or entrepreneur inside of corporate realms. And this is what happens, is that you're working so hard, so hard, so hard. And it's cool if the amount of input you're putting into the business, if the business would output something to at least match the input, because then you can be like, okay, it's working stuff, but then you're in the background and you start ruminating in your head. So like, what was going through your head at the time? Like, why isn't this
Like,
working? What's going
yeah,
on?
yeah. Like why we're trying so hard. I'm working so hard to, like, does nobody care? Does like, how come other people can do it and I can't do it? Or, comparing myself to others. So I would follow other people that were kind of doing the same type of thing, which I unfollowed them now because it didn't work for me to do that, to kind of see, okay, what are they putting out there that, like, why don't people like my stuff that so it was just like this comparison game of like, I'm not good enough.
Yeah. So it sounds like everything you were doing was 100% organic marketing,
Yeah.
right? Sweat equity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at it, we have you're going to pay for marketing. It's just, are you going to pay money for it? That's paid advertising. Or are you going to do organic marketing, which I think is the worst term in the world? It should be relationship marketing, not organic marketing. And then you put your time into it. So you're putting all this time into it. Now, when we first chatted a few months ago, what was it that made you not just give up and go, this is just dumb?
Because I just continued to, I'm religious, okay? And so I just kept seeing signs that, like, I want to do this, and I felt like this was my purpose in life, like, whether, like, it was something that I heard and then I read, or that, I thought and then I read, and I just continued to see, like, people would ask me questions, like, friends would come to me for questions, and I'm like, I know that I can support women in this way. And so I really felt driven to do this, but I didn't know how to make it work. I didn't know how to make it happen. And just, I look at my daughter too, and I want her to have this support. And so I want other moms, like the way that I'm able to show up for my daughter, and I want my daughter to know this information. We talk a whole lot about pelvic floors in our house. um, so I want other moms to know this information and their daughters to know this information. And I feel like this is how I can impact the world.
Okay, so we've got every reason in the world to quit, but something deep down inside your heart's gone, I've gone through this. We need to get out there. We need to do it. You didn't give up. And then you kind of came across, and how did you come across us, Move Think Smile?
Yeah, through Sarah. I'm in her inner circle. So,
Okay.
like her.
And for people who are wondering, that's Dr. Sarah Ellis Uval, and she has a postpartum corrective exercise specialist program where she trains really amazing physical therapists and personal trainers and yoga instructors, stuff like that, like Angela, in the art of how to make it all work down there when something's not working.
Yeah, just how the whole body connects together. Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you found that, we got on the call and we started talking to each other. And when was it like, I need to do this?
Yeah. So at that time, so I think it was about 6 months ago that I went down to 4 days a week because I could not keep up with the pace I was going if I didn't take a day off. And so I took Mondays off. So Mondays were my, at that time it was Achieve Movement. It's been like a couple names at this point. It's been Achieve Movement, it's been Active Motherhood, and now it's the Bladder Leak Solution. So, but so I was working on the website and I clicked a button and the button deleted a lot of things that I didn't, I was trying to clean up my email list, I think.
Okay.
and I clicked a button and it deleted everybody, which I had them saved on my MailChimp. So I did still have the email list. But what that meant is that people that had purchased, they no longer had access to the course.
Oh, so you deleted members inside the course who bought it.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody. Yep. And so like it was kind of an intermix of like some people on my email list that didn't purchase. Oh, and then there were some freebie people in there. And
yeah.
then there were the people that purchased. And I didn't care about the freebie people so much, but I cared about the people that actually purchased. Like they should still have access because they
They
bought.
paid for it. Yeah.
And um And so I like had a cry session because I was like, how? So I got on the phone or I emailed the people that, have the software. So like, how do I do this? And they're like, okay, well, you can do, it was like it was a long process. Okay.
Manual
So
process.
yeah, so I had to go back to my MailChimp and then I had to go to my Stripe and then I had to find like, okay, this person bought something for 47 and that equates to my labor prep course. So they must have bought a labor prep course. So I inputted everybody. It took a while, but not that long because it was only 20 people. So I didn't know if I was like happy that it didn't take me longer, but I was actually devastated that it was only 20 people.
Oh, that's when it hits you. It's like I've only have 20 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was like, I looked you guys up and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I need help. And so I was like at my wit's end. And then, so basically, I had a kind of like an internal agreement and with my husband that if it didn't work with you guys, then I would be done.
Okay. And well, let's shift gears here and let's talk about has it worked?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, to the
Absolutely.
tune of let's just get some juicy details on here. So we're more at like 20 people actually had a transaction with you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And it's looking like right around that $900,000 or 900 to $1,000 range. You spend a
Hmm.
year and a half on it. You're doing all this organic stuff, and we and don't forget we're also in other groups commenting, trying to do. Did you try the whole like DM thing, private
Yeah.
message thing?
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
awful. It was just
yeah.
not, it's just, it's like, I don't like when people do that to me.
It's called
But I
cold
people
calling.
do that to other people, like, but how do you I was like, I don't know how to this is awkward and I don't know how to do this, but how do you get people to know about you if you don't I don't know. It was just this like double-edged sword of
Right,
not
right.
knowing what to do and not knowing what to put my emphasis on.
So we went from making about a grand over 18 months with 20 people, burning out, doing stuff that did not make us feel good. Because yeah, cold calling people, I'm not into it too. I mean, again, it's another marketing strategy, it can work, but to
Mhm.
me, it feels kind of like you're just popping in somebody out of nowhere, just sending them messages, and it's like you're kind of spamming somebody.
Yeah, like I don't want people to do that to me. When people do that, I completely delete it right away.
Yeah, exactly. But now we got 5 clients in, and we've brought in what 20 something thousand dollars
Mhm.
in a, in a,
19,000.
in how short of a time frame?
3 months.
In 3 months. That's from, okay, Angela, she's ready to go. We hit the ground running. Now, it took us some time to kind of like shift things around, massage it in place and launch it, but she's done amazingly well. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys are,
it's so nice. I just like flip on, flip off. I'm open, I'm closed. Like it's so easy.
in what Angela's talking about. So when you say flip on, flip off, tell people what you're talking about.
The marketing. So I can just like click a button and I'm open for business and I have my, funnels that I learned how to create with you guys and all the marketing. And so click it on or off. Like I had it off during Easter because
Because you're going to
I
enjoy the
had it
holiday with
off.
your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what's really cool. So, what would you say are some of the like side effects? And I think I know what they are. You hinted to. It was like, so you're connecting with the kids more, you're connecting with your husband more, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I just feel like I'm able to be more present and, like, not have my shoulders up to my ears, so you might get a neck back.
And it's not like in the beginning, I know there was a little bit of resistance from your husband too.
Yeah, but he's completely on board. Like, I've
Now he
talked
is.
about, some other new things that I wanna do, and he was like, "Great." And when I have a call, he knows that he's completely supportive of it at this point. And even my kids, like, I was really worried that me, embarking on this new journey, like, the old strategy was taking time away from my family, and, like, this took effort, but it was, like, in the path that I needed to go. Like, knowing that it would work, and so or, like, now knowing that it worked, and so, when I have to go work, my kids are like, "Bye." Like, it's they're like and then, they'll say, "Good luck, mom." Like, it's so cute, and I just love it that I was able like, I show them that, when you work hard, that it pays off, and they know that I'm helping other moms.
And did you ever like try in your quest for 10,000 followers, did you ever try any other like courses out there or business coaching or any stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I paid for $1,000 course. This is a little embarrassing to admit. I did a, build your brand, one-off thing, so it was like $37 to build your brand. So I did like a logo and branding colors, and I spent 2 hours just thinking about brand colors. Like, that was not a valuable time use of my time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people do. It's like I gotta have my logo, I gotta have my business cards. You
Yeah,
know,
oh, I built business cards, I made flyers, I, like, just spent all of this time on, like, meticulously creating all these, like, they are beautiful, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna translate, and so, what I see now when I'm on social media, it's like, "Cool, that person has 10,000 followers." That doesn't mean anything.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't mean that, so, like,
nope.
I got up to 9,000 followers, and now I just see people kinda whittling away, and I'm like, "Good, I guess I'm not for you. Cool."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really cool. So we're looking at this, and I think it's really important. It's like, are we doing any of that stuff anymore?
No.
No. We've
I
got it
mean, I
down
send out I know how to communicate now to my crowd,
to your tribe.
to my tribe. Yeah.
You know how to communicate to your tribe. And we've got what? An ad, a video, and a phone call out there. Super, super simple.
Yeah. Mhm.
Not awesome.
Yes, and
Like
I
I can
have
see it like
people, like,
it's
wanting to book calls with me, like, there was somebody on Friday that she was wanting to set up a time, and so, I mean, we're gonna probably look at what's available. I didn't know our time zone, so I'm like, "I don't really know how I can help you if I don't know your time zone."
but
So,
but you didn't have the, oh my God, I need to book this now entrepreneurship, urgency, did you?
no, because it just like, I know that there are people out there that need my help and want my help, and so I don't there's this, like, sense of peace about it. Like, "Okay, cool, you want me to help you, then," 'cause I
Awesome.
know that there are people out there that will need it and that
And
are
then
ready.
and how many days at the clinic are you now?
I'm 4 days.
You're still 4 days.
I'm 4 days, but probably in the fall, I might be cutting back.
You're
Mhm.
cutting back as this thing builds, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think it's important to let everybody know, are you having to go to an office or a clinic or a brick and mortar space physically being present with the people you're working with?
No, everything is online.
It's super
Completely
cool.
online, and it's really powerful for how I've been able to help my clients. They
And
had amazing transformations, yeah.
that was going to be my next question because before I have no idea if anybody's even completing the course. And
Yeah,
now you're having amazing transformations and you absolutely know it, right?
yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And are your clients happy?
Yes, and they're all very happy. Mhm.
Even though they paid 5K
Mhm.
because they're finally getting the support they need, right?
Yeah, and I just feel like I am able to better support them because I know where they're at,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So what were just kind of share what were like your biggest aha moment or two when we started working together? Like, oh my gosh, this is how it works. Oh wow.
yeah, I feel like I needed to kind of peel away the muck, like the gunk that was floating around in my brain. of like the comparison and the get rid of, like, you don't need to be doing all these things, just like whirling around like a chicken with his head cut off. I was
Yeah.
like, just focus on the things because I didn't know what I needed. You don't know what you don't know, kind of a thing. You don't know what you need to focus on. And now I know what matters. And it's just about connecting with the right people and having real conversations. And I know how to do that now.
Nice.
And I think it
Nice.
was something that like I did in the clinic, but I didn't know how to do it in this space.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
a little,
now
it's a whole different thing when somebody just walks in and you walk into work. It's like, oh, here's John, here's Sally, here's Mary. They're on their calendar. They've already, people already took care of getting them in, getting them billed,
Mhm,
charging the fees and all that kind of stuff. You just show up and you just work with them.
mhm,
But now we're talking about, oh, I now have got to do all that too.
mhm.
And
But it doesn't feel daunting at all for me now because I know
awesome.
how to do it. I know what tabs I need open. I know what I need to, I have my whole little cheat sheet that I have like right next to me, and I know how to connect with the people and ask the powerful questions and help them realize that they need to take action. I'm not like forcing anything like you need
Yeah.
to buy this thing because I can't decide that for them. Like they
Yeah.
need to decide.
And are we giving stuff away for free anymore?
No.
Are we offering, hey, if you sign up before midnight, you'll get $2,000 worth of extra stuff?
No.
No, no, no. We got them down. We were using what we call the ambulance effect. When somebody has a health or challenge or a wellness problem, right? And they're like, they don't need all that stuff. What they need is help.
Mhm.
And they need help now. So, what would you say it was like to work with Elia and Robin?
They were so supportive. Elia was awesome at really helping me dial in my mindset of like how to actually be more present and flip my, like all all this mumbo jumbo to just like I just- so yeah, she just had a lot of good exercises to help me um find my peace and my calm and be able to take that to my clients as well and then use that with my family and when I'm talking to my husband and just be able to breathe again. Um, and
Nice.
then Robin was able to help me with all of the tech, which was really, I just, it felt really cool when I would have, questions pop up with my clients to be like, oh, I'll use my tech team. It's okay.
Yeah, because you get in. So, especially after your experience with WordPress and then deleting all your customers.
Yeah,
Yeah. So she comes in, does all that kind of stuff. And would you say they were pretty accessible?
very accessible. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
not like, hey, we're going to meet you once a month for 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, if I needed extra support, I just would email Robin or Elia. Yeah.
And boom, you guys would hop on a session, all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Well, this is super, super cool. So for anybody, watching us right now, either physical therapists or you're in the functional space, or maybe you're more into the kind of like holistic or integrative space, what kind of piece of advice could you give everybody?
If you have a passion and you know that you're really good at what you do, you should work with Move Things Smile because they will help you dial in how you can best support people. And so, the best advice would be get off the gerbil wheel of just trying to do more because that's not necessarily going to help the people that you want to impact and how you want to impact the world. Because if you're watching this, then you want to do better in the world. You want to like help make an impact on with people and doing more, giving things out for free. People don't necessarily value that
It sounds
until
like a
like
good strategy.
they
It
have,
sounds like a good strategy.
yeah. So you need to make connections with people and help them realize that they need to invest in themselves.
Exactly. So anybody watching this, if this is something that kind of resonates with you, and we have a very special offer, you can come on over to movethinksmile.com/change, because we're talking about changing the trajectory of your business, taking your business from just maybe idling along to really taking it to ludicrous speed, kind of like what Angela is doing. And we're offering a complimentary wellness business growth session. So you type that in or click on the link. There's a button around here. There's a link around here. You come over, there's a form you'll fill out. And if you qualify, you'll be taken to our calendar to, schedule time to speak to myself or Elia and really kind of dive into, what's not working with the business, what's working with the business, what you've got going on, how you really want to help people, the kind of people that you want to work with, setting a really killer price that's really fair for the clients, and also talking about your income goals to see if we can make that happen. So the next thing you know, you're turning around and you're posting, my husband and I are looking for a contractor right now to build our dream house on the lake.
Yeah.
And Angela, when we first connected, I know what was going through your head before we got on the session together.
I was a wreck. I was like, this isn't working. I can't do this anymore. I'm not good enough. How I'm wasting time. I'm sacrificing all these memories with my kids. And it was not a space that I wanted to be in, and it wasn't healthy for me or my marriage or my relationship with my kids. And so, yeah, I was very emotional on the call. I know. And I can be a passionate person. So I really want to help people. But then when people don't when it wasn't being supported, or, when people didn't want that or seemingly didn't want that, it just felt like, what else can I do?
And would you say that the call was super high pressure?
No, no. It was like a breath of fresh air. I felt listened to, and the call helped me realize what was actually possible for me.
Awesome. And are you happy that you took a leap?
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So everybody watching, come on over to movethinksmile.com/change, because it's about three things. And if you haven't seen one of the workshops we've done, make sure you click around here in the group or wherever you are. I'll put some links out there, but it's about three things, right? You have to take an integrative look at your business, because this is what we see. So many times people get out there like Angela and they start just, this marketing doesn't work, so I go over here and do this marketing. This marketing doesn't work, so I go over here and do this thing. I'll get into the groups and private message. Oh, that feels gross. Okay, let's get in here and get some more PDFs. Oh, let's do a free course. Oh, let's do 5 courses. We'll start at $17. We'll do, it's not about that. Yes, the marketing is super important. Conveying your true value is super important, but it's about these three things: changing the business structure, the way that you're operating. Number 2, change the message. That's the marketing part. So you're communicating your true value. And honestly, Angela, we're taking women out there, right, who need your help, and you're taking them from, who the heck is this Angela chick, to, thank you for taking my credit card in a very short period of time at a very high integrity, heart-based level. Would you agree?
Yeah, the last person I enrolled, she was thanking me to taking a call with her, thanking me for taking her money so that I could help her. It was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know I can help you."
Isn't that an amazing experience,
Yeah.
right? And it's
And
weird.
she had results in 2 weeks.
And she had results in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Happiest person on the planet.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So change the structure, change the message, and then change the income, right? Because you've got to be able to get out there. You've got to have a price that's fair to the clients, but it's also going to be healthy for the bottom line. And it's got to be healthy for the business owner like Angela, so you're not burning out in the process. Would you say we achieved those 3 goals?
Yes.
Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, everybody, come on over to movethinksmile.com/change. And Angela, before we part today, any other thing you want to say? Any other parting shots?
I am just so happy that I took the leap to work with Move Things Smile. It's changed my life to work with you guys.
Awesome. Well, it's been our honor. Angela just came into our Move Think Smile Level 2 advanced thing. We're not done yet. We're going to take this and we're going to accelerate it even more. So everybody come on over to movethinksmile.com/change. See if you qualify for a wellness business growth session, and we'll see everybody soon. Talk soon in the next episode.
Bye.